What's up, everyone? Aaron Negler here with Cheesehead TV, coming to you live from Midtown Manhattan, the LiveX studios on the YouTube channel. Hope everyone's having a great Tuesday. It's going to be a shorter session today. If you didn't check out my latest video, three guys I think need to play more down the stretch, please do so as soon as we're done here. In the meantime, hello to everybody in the comments. Good to see you all. You guys are amazing. What do we got here? Look at you people. Amazing. Hi, Peter. How are you, Dan? What's going on? What up from Long Beach? What's up, Teddy? What's up from Midtown? The Nagster. Be me. So yeah, the Packers are off today. We don't have any availability. There's no locker room, no coach, etc. But I'm still here to talk some Packers. See what's on your minds. See what's going on. What's going down in the world of Packers fandom and elsewhere. Josh, what's up, man? Number one pack, that's a really good question. Do you see Robert Tanyan playing in this game? I mean, I hope so. He's been out for so long. He's been out essentially the Dallas game where he had that amazing catch up the sideline and hurt his hip, and we haven't seen him since. And coach says, and everyone around the team says, he keeps getting close. Now, I don't know what close means. Obviously, we're not privy to the medical information, but they keep saying he's close. So hopefully, bye week has come and gone. That gets him over the hump. It is going to be interesting how they kind of divvy up things between him and Jay Sternberger going forward if he is active for the game. We'll have a much better idea tomorrow when we get our first injury report and or a look at participation. He was out there on Monday when they practiced, so that's an encouraging sign. But we won't know. We won't have any kind of real idea how likely it might be until we start to get an idea tomorrow afternoon. David Dubois, thank you so much for the super chat. Teach the ladies out there who 12 is next. You know, you go on one date, you tweet about one date. Yeah, I don't know. This was a lovely woman. She just didn't know who Aaron Rodgers was. And man, I just have no time for that in my life. Is this Packers' first game at Levi Stadium? I don't think so. I'm trying to remember. It was new that year they had the Super Bowl. I was there for that. I think they've been there since then. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I do think they've been there. Did I catch Clubhouse Live last night? No, Katie, I did not. I was on said date, and I probably should have been watching Clubhouse Live. But I saw that Jamal Williams was on. I'm sure it was a lot of fun. I'll probably check it out tonight. Automatic last date. Yeah, exactly. Packers have played at Levi Stadium. I thought so. Yeah, I was pretty sure they had. Did I miss what the intro was about? William, you did not. The title of this video, Everybody Has a Plan Until They Get Punched in the Mouth. Look, I'm really excited. The 49ers have played two games since the Packers last took the football field, and they've had a bye week, and they've got all this time to plan, to self scout, to look at things analytically and say, ooh, this is how we might be able to expose whatever minimal weaknesses there are on the defensive side of the ball for the 49ers or offensively, where we might be able to dictate things on defense, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. To which I say, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Made saying made famous by Mike Tyson. And this is a game where all these plans, all these ideas, all this self scouting ain't going to mean a whole hell of a lot if they do not come ready to throw down. And the 49ers are no joke. They have a physical defense. It is one of the best, if not the best, in the league. The Packers are going to have their work cut out for them. This is a game where they're going to have to get down and dirty. They're going to have to bloody their noses. They're going to have to run the football on offense, and they are going to have to beat guys up on defense. It's not always going to be pretty, but they got to make it a street fight. That's just my thought. I understand that people want to see Aaron Rodgers drop back and throw the ball over the yard. This is not that kind of game. They have got to run the football, even when it's hard to watch sometimes, even when they're not maybe carving out big chunks of yardage. They've got to be physical. They got to let their offensive line fire off the ball and not so much announce their presence with authority or anything, but let the 49ers know that it's going to be a long night. Because if they start dropping back, 40 times for Rodgers, it is going to be a long night. Jake, thank you so much for the super chat. A healthy Kenny Clark is going to be a problem. Yeah, you saw the start of that against Carolina. He was all over the place. If you haven't checked out Rock's video at Packers.com, I highly recommend you do so. He highlights how Kenny was a big problem all day long for the Carolina Panthers, and he barely shows up on the stat sheet. If you were just looking at a box score after the game, you wouldn't think Clark had, did all that. But let me tell you, he did all that. Guy had a hell of a game. Easily his best game of the year. The 49ers can be beat through the air. They absolutely can, Nathan. They can also destroy your passing game with their pass rush. That's all I'm saying. Got to stay ahead of the sticks. Got to let that offensive line fire off the ball and then take advantage through the air when it presents itself, which it should as the game goes on, especially in the play action game. Favorite Packer to hear interviewed? Right now, it's the Smiths, and it's not even close. If you're talking all time, it's easily Brett Favre. I don't think there's any question there. Will Dexter Williams get any playing time, even if the backfield stays healthy and awesome? I very, very much doubt it. I'd be surprised. Big question: will we gain a yard on punt returns? Yes, Mark. They did against the Panthers. Tremont Smith actually made a difference and you know returned one. I like that you dig. Quoting the quoting Booger via Devonte Adams' Twitter. Games are lost more than they are won. He's not wrong. In the NFL, mistakes kill you. Mistakes are what lose you football games. It's not that crazy. Jay Sternberger could be the fast tight end that could help us against the 49ers. I agree as far as being able to get down the seam, maybe take advantage of that secondary and or linebacking group. But yeah, I don't think I don't think it's a question of you want to do that. That can be an outlier, maybe once or twice a game, but that's not your game plan by any stretch of the imagination. Nathan, holy shit, am I ever excited for this game? I hear you, man. I'm trying to temper it. It's only Tuesday. You got to pace yourself. A lot of week left, but I'm right there with you, man. I'm pretty jacked for this one. Dueling fullbacks game. Jake, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, we'll see how both Shanahan and LaFleur utilize their fullbacks. Again, if you haven't checked out my 3 guys who need to play more down the stretch video, check that out after we're done here up on the channel. Vitali is in the mix. Thoughts on the new Brewers uniforms? I'm happy they went back to the glove. I love that logo. That old school logo is the one I grew up with. I love it. I have a great association with it. Um, I know they changed it a little bit, but it's essentially the same thing. Yeah, I'm down for it. I like it. The uniforms themselves look cool. I'm cool. I love it 10 times more than the stuff from the 90s into the early 2000s. All that stuff. Shoot that into the sun. I'm glad that's gone. Does Kiki help in the run game or the pass game? Yes. Actually, I think he has the ability to help in the pass game, but immediately I think he would help in the run game. I think he's got some initial quickness that could help gum up the work, so to speak, up front as far as shooting gaps and basically getting the ball carrier off schedule. But I do think he needs to play more. There's no question in my mind. Uh, Joe, the show, thanks so much for the super chat. Thanks for the NFC North Twitter snark. You the man. There comes a time in every man's life when he understands his role. And my role is to piss off the fandom of everybody else in the NFC North. And you know what? It's so easy. Oh my gosh. So many snowflakes. It's great. The Vikings fans are the worst. At least with the Bears fans, they're like a cute little brother who isn't it adorable that their team was good last year. Now they're back to being crap. And you guys had your little turn. That's great. Vikings fans have never won anything. Their team is like a soulless shell of an actual franchise. And ooh, wow, they came back against the Broncos at home and they're all like, oh, excited. Like, come on. It's just adorable. And then the Lions, please, the Lions. I don't even get junk from Lions fans because they know how terrible they are. And their team beat the Packers like the last 4 times they faced them prior to this year. And they still didn't talk junk because they know they're still the Lions. It's just hilarious. I live in Minnesota. Vikes fans are the worst. They live to tear you down. Yeah, well, Chris, you just point to that trophy case that is empty and move on with your day. Kaepernick's lawyer said two teams are interested in him. Are the Packers one of them? Well, seeing as the Packers didn't even send someone to Atlanta, I'm going to guess no. Although we've seen them going to do the old rokey doke before as far as not actually attending workouts and then signing somebody and or drafting them. So maybe, but I'd be very surprised. Will I be at the Giants game? Yes, Mark. I will be at the Giants game. I think Corey and I are going to do some kind of tailgate slash meetup thing prior to the game. Although I have to get into the stadium early uh, to meet some people, but I think we'll definitely do something. Now, obviously, it'll be an early game. They're not going to flex this one, so you have to get out there early. But yeah, I'll be there, and we'll probably do something. Who won the Khalil Mack trade? Well, no one yet, but it's trending towards the Raiders, right? Um, but yeah, I know Packer fans are ready to pounce, and I understand. Trust me, I love it, but it's not over yet. You still got to wait. Noah Spence, yeah, I saw he got released. I'd be shocked, but maybe. I'm not going to give it an outright no. How's that? Do you think there is real value in the first round bye for the playoffs? I understand both sides of it. I get the idea of getting that bye, especially getting healthy, right? That time of year, you've played a lot of games, guys are banged up. Even when you're quote unquote healthy, like the Packers supposedly are now, you're still everyone's dealing with something in the NFL. No one's at 100%. The injury rate in the NFL is 100%. So I understand from that side of things, you want to get healthy and be, you know, form and fighting fit. On the other side of it, and this is kind of where I fall. I kind of like the idea of not missing a week. And I know it's easy for me to say because I don't have to coach or play in the game, but the idea of not so much momentum, which I don't think really carries over from game to game, but the idea of being in a groove, being in a rhythm, especially on offense, where if you take a week off, suddenly it's okay, you're trying to restart the engine. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, like I said, I can see both sides of that. I probably come down on the side of I like it when they don't miss a week. But I'm never going to be upset about a first round bye because that means the Packers are playing at home the following week in the playoffs. And I am down for playoff games in Lambeau. Let me tell you. Jake, thanks for the super chat. How important will Campbell be in stopping the run? Pretty damn important if he plays as much as he did against the Panthers. If he's playing close to 60, which I suspect he'll probably get bumped up even more, 60% of the snaps, he damn well better be part of the solution as far as stopping the run. Look, he's the surest tackler in the secondary. There's no question about that. I think his play will improve week to week as he gets more and more reps. I mean, you got to remember, he has not had any live action until that game on Sunday 2 weeks ago, since last December. That's a long way away from football, from real football. And yes, he got taken advantage of a little bit sometimes on those crossing routes. You saw him hesitate at times, but you also saw him make a lot of really good tackles, including one where he forced a fumble on Christian McCaffrey, one of the best offensive weapons in the game. So I think he will only help them improve against the run, and he will do more and more overall as the year goes on. Do you think Ty Summers could possibly help against the run? I think he could in the sense of pursuing sideline to sideline, but you saw this summer, both in camp, preseason, he misses a lot of tackles. And I know, that you're going to say, well, what else is, all the Packers miss tackles. I think they've gotten better. They've been up and down somewhat during the season, but I mean, he was productive in the preseason, but boy, howdy, both practices and games, he missed a lot of tackles. So I don't know. I think he's very much he's there clearly to help on special teams for now. I don't think he sees the field unless there's a bunch of injuries in front of him. Alex McCabe, thanks so much for the super chat. More likely, Vitali TD or Sternberger breakout. Whew. I want to say Vitali TD, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sternberger went ham. But I'm going to go with Vitali TD because that's my guy. Use him, LaFleur. Sick of this nonsense. Do you think this is going to be a hard game to coach, considering how close LaFleur is to the Niners staff? Yeah, Katie, I don't discount it, right? I think there's a heightened factor to it. Now, once you get to that level, the game starts. It's another game. You're coaching in the NFL. There are a million things on your mind. the idea of I'm coaching against my buddies is lower on the list, most likely. Obviously, I've never done it, but that's my hunch. Um, but I can't imagine that human nature doesn't, you know, factor in somehow. I know when I'm competitive against my friends, it gets ramped up, right? It gets a little juiced as far as I want to beat him. My buddy Travis and I, we used to sit in rehearsal down in North Carolina where Corey and I met, North Carolina School of the Arts. All we did during rehearsal was look at each other and go like this. We would just sit each other across from the table and just or across the room, and we would go because we were gonna. As soon as we were done, we were going back to his place and play NFL 2K, and we would just play all night. And all I wanted to do was beat him. I can't imagine that there's not just a sliver of that inside of LaFleur. So, does that make it more difficult? I don't know if it makes his job harder, but it definitely amps up the tension, and we'll see how he responds. Will D Ford being hurt help the Packers? Well, yeah. I mean, yes, it will certainly help the Packers. I mean, how much? I mean, I don't think it swings the balance of the game or anything, but hey, anytime one of their premier pass rushers is less than 100% and or not playing, I'm down for that. Uh, Thoughts on Gilbert Brown's podcast? You know what? I listened to the beginning of the first one um, weeks ago, and I haven't gone back, but I need to. I love that he's doing one. I saw him at Clubhouse Live when I was back the last day actually, when I was back in Appleton. I love that he's like putting himself out there, doing a lot more media. Gravedigger, love the man, big time fan, and I definitely will check out more of the podcast. Uh, has Jimmy gotten as good as he will get for the Packers? Whew. That's a tough one, Tony, but I'm going to say yes. I think we've seen his ceiling, and the question is, can he hit it consistently? Like, I don't care if he can improve. I just want him to play at that level week in and week out. There are some games and some stretches of games where you see him and you're thinking, okay, we're kind of cooking with gas here. And then he misses a block or he can't get any yak or he drops a ball in the end zone or whatever. It's like they can't have it. They've got to get at peak level Jimmy, whatever that is in 2019, consistently week in and week out, drive in and drive out. The Mandalorian has captured the essence of Star Wars the best this decade without pulling out a lightsaber. Jack could not agree more. That is very well stated. Lazard going to eat. I hope so, Teddy. I want that kid to get in the end zone again. And it's clear Rodgers loves the guy. He's going to throw to him in any situation. I hope so. And you got to think, you got Devontae Adams on the other side. You got Aaron Jones to worry about. That should leave plenty of single opportunities for Lazard to go ham. Will Grant be active this week? I'd be shocked, Keith. They signed him essentially because they thought MVS and or Geronimo was going to miss a game, and then they never did, and so they never had to activate him. I'd be very, very surprised if he gets activated. But stranger things have happened. All right, everybody, I'm going to have to jump. Thank you so much for all the questions. I'm sorry if I couldn't get to yours. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, making Cheesehead TV part of your Packers routine. We're here for you guys. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. A reminder, there is no Packer transplants tomorrow. We will have a Packer transplants on Friday afternoon. So be ready for that because Corey will be gunning for Bear. But please hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. And if you like what we do, please consider giving us $5 a month on our Patreon, patreon.com/cheeseheadtv. It is Thank You Patrons Day. So for those of you who do give and are patrons, I can't thank you guys enough. We are and will always be devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Talk to you guys tomorrow.